Tomorrow I'll be turning 71, a number that still surprises me. Not because I feel old, but because this stage of life has begun to invite me into a deeper question. What would happen if I treated aging as an opening rather than a closing? A doorway into radical openness. Lately, I've been wondering how life might feel if I embrace this age not as a narrowing but as a widening, a chance to live with a heart that is open in a way I've never quite allowed before. Not just more curious or vulnerable, so this matters deeply, but open in a way that begins to unlearn fear itself. When I say radical, I really mean it. Something in me is drawn to the possibility of a heart so spacious that fear simply cannot anchor itself the way it used to. And yet, as we grow older, contraction is often the default. Life gives us reasons to tighten. Mortality becomes clearer. Concerns about physical or financial security hum quietly in the background. We face the reality that one day we may not longer be fully in charge of our own lives. But beneath all of that, it is usually time we fear most. Less time to experience the depth of being human, less time to understand what truly matters, less time to love more and better. So we brace, we protect, we negotiate with life. We try to extend our days and preserve the quality of them. I am not immune to these fears, of course. I simply try to be conscious in how I relate to them. Up to now, my path has been about opening just wide enough to let fear sit beside me, to acknowledge it, walk with it, and make space for it alongside joy, beauty, gratitude, and awe. But something is shifting. A quieter, deeper invitation has begun to emerge, one that asks for an openness beyond the categories of good or bad, desirable or undesirable. My heart whispers toward a recognition of everything as one indivisible love, a way of seeing in which nothing needs to be held at a distance, nothing needs guarding against. I long for that intimacy with reality. For this, simply coexisting with fear won't be enough. I need to dissolve it, to embody the knowing that whatever comes is fundamentally okay, that fear was never required for my safety or my wholeness. It sounds like an impossible task, and yet unlearning fear is something we've already done many, many times in our lives. Think of your own experience. Which fears have you already outgrown? The fear of asking for help, the fear of being truly seen, the fear of witnessing someone you love in pain, the fear of telling a parent a truth they didn't want to hear. We've all unlearned something we once believed we could never move beyond. Light has already begun slipping through the cracks in fear's facade. In my own experience, every time a question fears claim to be a truth teller, its authority loosens. Another piece of the facade falls away. A little bit more light enters. Every time I lean into trust, into the wild possibility that it really will be okay, something subtle rearranges itself in me. The cracks widen. A window appears, opening onto a beauty I could not have imagined before. Every time I say yes to fear, meet it with softness, gratitude, and love, the structure weakens further. A doorway becomes visible, a threshold into a way of being that is luminous, unguarded, and deeply in love with life. Perhaps the work of our later years isn't to shore up our walls or brace for the inevitable, but to let everything fall open, to see how much light was waiting. Maybe radical openness is the gradual dismantling of every brick fear ever laid, until nothing stands between us and love, until the boundary between our own inner light and the world's brilliance dissolves, and we can no longer tell where one ends and the other begins.